So to create our cover letter, there are going to be a few things that we need. Now, we're going to start off with contact information. This should match with the header of your resume. This should literally be that copied and pasted in on our new document. Next, you're going to identify your desired position. What position do you want? Go ahead and write that out. Next, Dear Human Resources Recruiter, it really helps if you know the manager, or even if you don't know them personally, knowing their name, that's going to give you that extra leg up because it's going to show that you did your research. But if you cannot find out that information, Dear Human Resources Recruiter, or to whom it may concern, something along those lines, you're going to introduce yourself after that. Remember that this is a letter style document. So you're going to introduce yourself. This is going to be done in paragraph form. And you're going to give a little bit about yourself. So you're in college. You're going to talk about how you're in college, what you're going to school for. Then you're going to talk about your experiences. And specifically, not all of them, but specifically the ones that are going to relate to that job. For example, if you're looking for a career at a children's hospital, you should talk about experiences where you've worked with children. But also, if you have any type of medical experience, talk about that as well. Then you're going to express your appreciation for the opportunity in some way, shape, or form. Thank you for considering me for this position. And then if you are typing this out and you're not planning on printing this out, then you're just going to do sincerely, your name. If you do end up printing this out, then you can just do the sincerely and sign and pen. And the reason why I have this on-air piece here is because this is almost like your commercial. This is going to give them an idea of who you are, a quick glimpse of you before they actually get toward the interview process. Now, when we think about the organization of our cover letter, we're going to, of course, take our header from our resume as mentioned earlier. Then we're going to do professional fonts, Times New Roman 12 point. And you're also going to want this single space. Remember that this is going to happen in letter style. You should not indent paragraphs. You're going to close up with letter language, sincerely. Now you do have a little bit of flexibility. If you didn't want to do as many paragraphs, you could start doing bullet points, but make sure that you keep that very organized and clean looking. And you also want to include your submission date, so just the date that you do it, written somewhere, written at the top nicely. And this is going to help you have a professional look. Again, if people are looking through these all the time, you're going to want yours to be along the same lines of professionalism, but also make it stand out in content. That's why it's really, really important to make those connections with what you're putting in, what experiences you have to the career that you would like. Alright, so now some tips and tricks to help you guys out. Absolutely no pictures. This should be no longer than one page. You're going to want to include engaging adjectives and verbs to help sell yourself. This is what they see before they call you in for an interview. Okay, so this is the part where they're going to start eliminating who's even worthy of an interview and who is not. Use what you know about the company to your advantage. If they have a mission statement, look it up, see what that is, and think about how your skills and abilities can tie back into what it is that they're looking for in an employee. And also, take your experiences that you've had, whether it be volunteer, whether it be informal work experience, or even your education, classes that you've taken, if that applies, to help show how you, again, would help them go toward their mission with their company. Do not forget to spell check, read aloud to check for grammatical errors, And do not forget to have another person review it if possible, just to make sure that everything is in line and have another set of eyes looking at it. Now we're going to take a look at how this looks whenever it is put down on paper. So you can see that they started off with the header, and this would usually be from your resume as well, as I mentioned earlier. Do not put the address. I would not recommend doing that. You can just put in your city or area, just because you do not want your address sitting and floating around on those things. The date is up at the top, and you don't necessarily have to put in, the address of the company or anything like that, but the rest of this is also there. What job you're looking for. If you know the employer's full name, that would kind of be put down with the dear part, not necessarily there. And the company's name, of course, just to have that there so that you know where that's going, but also that shows a level of professionalism about your letter. So next we go into the introduction piece of it. Then this person talks a little bit about their education, and then they also talk about their skills. So as you can see, if you read through a little bit, they are looking for a position at an art studio of some kind. And so they're taking their education, matching that because they had a master's in fine arts. They're also talking about their residency program that has to do with creating art. So notice how they're wrapping around their experiences in education. They're wrapping those around what the company is about. That's what you want to do as well. And at the bottom here, you see that they have a appreciation statement, and then they do sincerely, and they wrap everything up really, really nicely. So I really hope that this presentation helped someone at least with this process, because this can definitely be overwhelming, but you've got this. You can do it. Just think about the different pieces and putting them all in their place, and next thing you know, the puzzle is complete. Thank you so much for watching.